Here's your update on day 33 of US and Israel's war on Iran. US President Donald Trump says Iran has now asked for a ceasefire, and he made that claim just hours before a televised address from Washington. Tehran, though, is flatly denying it. Inside Iran, US and Israeli attacks have continued across the country. In the latest strikes, at least 9 people were killed in Laristan and Mianeh, while infrastructure was damaged in several areas, including an airport in Isfahan and piers in Hormozgan. Iranian officials say the country is under sustained attack, and President Masoud Pezeshkian has now gone directly to the American public with an open letter. In it, he says Iran has no hostility towards the people of the United States, Europe or its neighbors, and urges Americans to look past what he calls distortions and manufactured narratives. He questions whether this war really serves US interests, asks whether Washington has been manipulated by Israel, and warns that bombing Iran's energy and industrial infrastructure is not strength but strategic confusion. He also says Iran was attacked while it was still engaged in diplomacy, and insists his country still has the right to defend itself. That message came as Iranian authorities also staged a show of strength at home. Government supporters took to the streets to mark Islamic Republic Day, with President Pezeshkian and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi joining rallies in Tehran. State media showed crowds chanting against the US and Israel, while authorities raised what they called Iran's tallest and heaviest flag in downtown Tehran. Officials and clerics told supporters to remain on the streets every night until the war is over, with mosques, alleys and public squares described as Iran's trenches. The Basij and other armed forces were deployed widely across the capital, with checkpoints and patrols everywhere. At the same time, Tehran is preparing for the possibility of something even bigger. Iranian commanders say they have been drilling for a US invasion since 2001 and warn that any ground assault would be met with heavy casualties. State-linked messaging has become more explicit too, with videos in multiple languages saying, "We are waiting for you." Iran's military leadership says the country is close to what it calls the ultimate victory of good over evil, while more attacks this week have hit steel factories, civilian nuclear sites, a university, military installations, and homes. Meanwhile, the near-total internet shutdown has now dragged on for more than a month, leaving many Iranians cut off except for state media. Residents say they are spending huge amounts of money on VPNs, many of which stop working within hours. Some say they have been scammed, while authorities continue pursuing sellers, users, and even people using Starlink on national security charges. The judiciary has warned that filming strike sites or sharing footage can lead to confiscation of assets or execution. State media has even aired confessions from arrested Iranians, including one young girl accused of cheering Trump and Netanyahu online. With official information tightly controlled, some people in Tehran say they now rely on private warning networks, getting calls and texts from people in other provinces who hear warplanes first and alert them before strikes hit the capital. Meanwhile, Iran's retaliatory attacks have continued as well. One of the biggest missile barrages in weeks injured at least 14 people and caused damage across several Israeli cities, just before the Jewish holiday of Passover. In central Israel, Iranian strikes caused more injuries and fresh damage, and officials there say the holiday has begun under fire. Hezbollah has also kept up its attacks, saying it targeted invading Israeli troops in Ain Atta in southern Lebanon and fired rockets at Malkiah and Mecholah in northern Israel. That wider regional front is still expanding. Firefighters in Kuwait have put out a blaze at fuel tanks at the country's main airport following what was described as an alleged Iranian attack. Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE also reported intercepting missiles and drones. And in Lebanon, Israel and Hezbollah continue to trade fire, while the death toll from Israeli attacks there has now risen to 1,318 people.